Hello, welcome back, and thanks for joining me. It's Judy from Thistledew Creations, and I'm continuing on with the napkin play this morning. I glued up napkin onto these index cards, and this one was a yellow index card using the purple disappearing glue stick. It didn't disappear. I'm not sure why. That one on the white, the purple glue stick disappeared. On the yellow, it kept it discolored, because that's the original color. Even the glue on the back of the card must be something with the way the purple combined with the yellow, whatever dye is in that paper must have changed the way that the glue dried and doesn't allow it to disappear. Interesting. I don't mind the way it looks. I just thought it was interesting that it didn't disappear. I thought I would mention it. So you could try your disappearing glue stick on some different papers and see if it does that for you. These ones are, I think, Dollarama or Dollar Tree colored index cards. I should try it on the other colors. So I'm just sort of taking the little bits off the edges of the cards, so it still looks scruffy. Makes a bit of a mess, but it's got to be done. And once this is dry, it comes off pretty easily. Exposed a bit of the white there. You know what we'll do with that. I'm just going to ink that right away. So I just thought I would make up some little, I wanted to use up these scraps, as I mentioned in the last video where we did the envelopes and pouches. And so I thought I would go ahead and make these index cards to include in those pouches for whoever decided to claim them. And so I'm going to add some tabs to them and some other little embellishments, and of course some ink. So I'll get my vintage photo out. I'm going to ink the front and the back edges. And that's going to take care of that little bit of white that's showing there. Kind of has a white background on this napkin anyway. And then on the back, give it a good border of ink. These aren't very thick cards, the ones you get at the dollar store. Certainly not like the old ones that they used to use. Get old vintage ones and they have so much more heft to them. And then you can even, if you don't want it so white, you can just take the flat of your dauber once you're done doing the outside edge and go around in the middle. You can even do that on the front if you want. Brown up that one pumpkin. And then I thought I would put corrugated tab on these ones. Either at the side, actually this side would be good. Doesn't really matter. I don't know how they're going to be used, so I kind of just have to go with what I think looks best. Just put that right on there. Give it a little squeeze. And then I thought maybe just a little decoration on top of that. This was something I received in Happy Mail not too long ago, and it was kind of mangled by the time I got it out of the package. So I've just been using little bits of it here and there. So I grabbed these little kind of, I'm not sure what you'd call them. They kind of look like little leaves or flowers. And I'll just glue that down on top of the tab. On both sides. I don't think I have enough to do all of them, so I'll have to figure out something else as well. And that just sort of finishes it off better. And I have a vehicle driving in the driveway, so I gotta go check that. It's probably just hubby. There's nobody there, so I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe he snuck home to grab a tool or something and didn't want to interrupt me. He knows I'm filming today. So that just makes it a little more vintage, a little more autumn. I'm thinking maybe a button or something on there because it just seems like it's missing something. Needs a little something, something. Now, I did use butterflies on the one, so I could do a little butterfly. They're a little bit big. These smaller ones. To add to the tab. And then the other thing that I sometimes put on the tabs is a little grommet. So let's do that. Kind of do our figuring out on the first one and then do the rest of them similar. See if I have a mossy green, maybe. I know I've got a bright green. It's too bright. I don't think I have mossy green. You don't know what you need until you need it, do you? That one's pretty good. Kind of a grayish beige. I'm going to put this kind of right at the base of that little leafy thing. It can stay on there. Oop. Give it a squeeze. That one seems to need a little more strength than these things have. It's just barely catching. It does finish it off nice. And then if I do some dangles, I could add a bulb pin and a dangle to that, and then it gives it a little more something something. And so let's do one of these orangey ones. I pulled out these reddish whale tail tabs that I cut out of some sort of packaging. I can't remember what it was now. It was a box of something. And I'll give it a fold. It's pretty firm, so I'm going to just burnish it a bit. The corrugated ones, if I cut them right, they bend easily right at the corrugation, but these ones don't have that extra help. And I didn't ink that one. It was pretty dark anyway, but I like to ink these. And because this was discolored and was more orangey, I thought this would be a good color to do for it. So what I do with these is I ink all of one side and then just the flat part of the other side, because this is going to stick to this. I'll do this one here. And I'm just eyeballing it for center. I didn't ink that yet. That card, I think I'm going to switch to the ground espresso to ink this card because I think it needs it to show up. Just while I'm thinking of it, I said I should try the disappearing purple on the other colors. I think I'm going to do that. See, it even discolored on the back. Because this is the same color as this, I'm not too worried about it. In fact, I could add more if I wanted to make it look intentional. What color of... Oh, there's a mossy green. Not sure that it's quite right, but we'll use it and see. I sometimes worry a little bit too much. Being a designer, I kind of want everything to coordinate perfectly. And I don't know. This is a bit bigger, this section of this little scrolly thing. But if I put that like here, maybe I'll put it on the plain side where you'll see it more. I put that and then put that grommet right through there. That might be cool. Normally when I hear vehicle during the day, I think it's my Amazon order or something, but I haven't ordered anything, so it must have been hubby sneaking home, trying not to disturb me. He knows I'm tired and I need to get some videos done. So here we'll do on this side so we can see where this is going to go. And then put that in I guess it could go on this side, as long as it does a nice, neat. Do it on this side. That's not bad. Not bad. Just gives it a little something on the back. And I think I will just muddy this up a bit. It's a little bright for me. This is the vintage photo again. So that kind of looks cool. We'll do another, actually I want to grab the other colors and see if they get distorted by the purple disappearing as well. So we got blue, pink, aqua, and yellow. So I know this will. Do it on the plain side. So the purple on the blue is actually going to be pretty. And then the pink. It'll just be interesting to see if it dries and goes away or dries and stays like it did with the yellow. It might just be the yellow itself that has the problem. See, that looks like it's disappearing. We'll check them in a few minutes. Could just be the yellow doing it. Okay, ink some edges, because we got some white here I'm going to get rid of. I've been doing a lot of inking while I watch television the last few days. I bought a poetry book at a yard sale, and I didn't really look at it very closely. I just saw that it was poems and that they were all fairly short poems, and they were kind of like right in the middle of the book page was a little poem. So there was lots of blank spots in it. And I thought, well, the little poems would make great little additions to a page or whatever. Well, when I got it home, or when I got it into the truck and started looking at it, I realized the poems weren't poems that I would want to use. They were all about loss and death and breakups and misery. So I ended up tearing around all of the poems and keeping the blank spots that were top and bottom and even some up the sides. So I'm just inking up all these random blank pages, and I'm thinking of doing some scrappy little notebooks with them, with the torn edges. I'll share that with you today too. It'll be in a different video, but I'll do the video today. So giving that a good inking with the ground espresso. I forgot to do the first one. And gluing that. This is these are all, the corrugated ones are Tim Hortons cup wrappers. I love to use them for this purpose. Put it in the same place as the other one went. And this time, I think I might use a little butterfly. So I'm going to grab that same rust ink that I used. This is Stampin' Up Really Rust. And all I do is just rub the wood item right over the stamp pad, and it changes the color. It's just like a stain. And I do want to still put an eyelet, I think, so I better do that first. I've got some brown ones I just noticed here, so I think I'll use them. Since I'm doing a butterfly, I'll do a little flower in brown. Quite a few of those. Fairly close to the edge. I don't think I got that perfectly centered. That's all right. And then maybe this goes on the back. I'm not sure. It's actually still just a little big. If I do it this way, and tacky glue's okay for this. It catches pretty good on the wood. And that really coordinates nicely, doesn't it? I like that better than the paper one that you can hardly see. Let me do another one of those there. Because this one will work. Don't even really need to take that off. This way. Kind of hugging that eyelet. And then this one I could do one here, but I'll do it in dark brown or in moss green. Maybe in moss green. I do have this one that Wanda sent me. Peeled paint. Let's pick up the green in the leaves a little bit. And again, just sort of hug it around the eyelet. Two more. This will be a quicker video, which is good. So this one gets the red again, reddish. And I used Vintage Photo on that last one. I think I'm going to try the darker ink on this. I think it looks better. Ground espresso. And even around the card. other thing I haven't done is round any corners, which these are dry enough now that I could round some corners. I've got them all on the end. Maybe I'll do a couple where they're on the side. Kind of like that. Now this is vintage photo again. I don't want the back to be too muddy. I just don't want it to be so bright. And then I'll go around the edge with the vintage or the ground espresso. This one I'll do a side tab. And if you're not good at putting things in the center, then just deliberately put it off center, like up in the top half somewhere. I'm pretty good at eyeballing center because I do this every day in my design work. Let's see how I did. I got 4.5 and 4.5. Right bang on. If you don't have that kind of an eye, you don't have to do it right in the center. Let's do another dark brown one. I think the dark brown's going to look better than the green looked. I'm not worried about these all matching, because I'm going to split them up between the 3 different pouches that we made. And so there won't be a problem with them being different. And then I'll do another butterfly. And I'll do it, what color? Green again? I think it does look good. A different butterfly, but that's okay. Even if it was going in the same project, it's still okay that it's a different butterfly. I can do these wingtips. They're going to be on the card. And one more vintage photo. Actually, this would also look good with the green ink. I'm really crooked down at this end. I might have to put some lace on this one. What I really need to do is a coffee dyeing day and do a bunch of these cards. I think that would really improve the texture of them too. You can see the Timmies there. And this one I'll do on this side. Oh, I didn't ink it. I do prefer them inked. Almost time for a new pad on this inker. Not much foam left. Getting all beat up. It gets used a lot on the corrugation, that's why I think. And I don't even worry about those little numbers that are stamped on the sleeves. I just leave them. It's all part of the junky journal part. And here I'll show you what I mean by intentionally off center. So I'm going to put this up here. Instead of trying to center it, you can just do that. It doesn't have to be, you know how file folder has the things at the end, the little tabs. You can do that too. I really like what the eyelet does for these. Makes them look so sturdy. Now that's not showing up very much, but it still reinforces the look of it. Now I did say I would think I might put some lace up top here, so let's just see what I have. I already have it out. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit of this ribbon and I'm going to ruffle it up. So I'll put down some 3-in-1, nice little bead of it right across the top there, stopping just before the end. I'll grab my little silicone lip scrubber. I've called it, I just was re-watching some videos yesterday and I called it a nose scrubber, which I guess you could. If you have pores on your nose that you want to clean out, you could use it that way. But I think I bought it as a lip scrubber. I'm just kind of ruffling it up along here. Not very well. It's hard because you do have to hold it for a second or two. I shouldn't have put down so much glue, I guess. And then you have to kind of roll off of it instead of pulling straight up. That's a good little tip. And then I just need a little more glue to get those folds to lay down. This will be quite undulating. Kind of like the way it looks though. And then I'll cut that off on an angle. Didn't come quite to the point. That's better. And then that little wonkiness covers up the other wonkiness. Just finishes it off nice. And I just want to shorten this. So it doesn't stick out quite so far. And then just to show you what I mean, the rounding corners, I'm just going to do the smallest round over. Just take those pointy edges off. It helps it go in and out of pocket easier if you can put it in with a rounded corner. I'm going to leave the other ones. And then do I put butterfly on there? Maybe on the back side this time. I did them on the front on every other one. And what color do I want it? Green or rust? I've got rust ones with these others. Let's do a green one. Hold that down for a second or two. And that's our journaling cards. So those will go in the pouches if anyone claims them. If not, I'll set them aside for next year. And send them in happy mail next year. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my little altered index card project. Do come back. We're going to do some Halloween stuff as well with napkins. We'll get it all done today, hopefully. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.